Hello, everybody watching us on KTV2, and welcome to another episode of The Untold, the program where we learn about the different journeys of different people here in Kuwait. And Abdullah, today we have Atta Malak, an entrepreneur.
He is an entrepreneur, a young one at that. He has several businesses, I would say, by looking at his social media accounts. We are very curious to see about his journey, how he got here, how, he discovered his place in the world, I would say. It's hopefully going to be a very interesting conversation, but we are going to take a very quick break before it.
Hello and welcome everybody watching us on KTV2 to another episode of The Untold. And today we have with us Atta Malak, an entrepreneur. Welcome Atta to the program.
Hello, Abdullah. How's everything?
We're doing absolutely great. We always have a great time talking to, I would say, young entrepreneurs, right, to discover their journeys. So how about you talk us about your journey? Talk us how you were growing up and how did you find your place in such a position?
Growing up, I've always wanted to be in a better space, to be honest. And that have always been me since I was young. Growing up through school, like I started hustling some small businesses during classes, selling some bracelets, doing some fun stuff that I enjoyed. And this is, I believe, how I found my passion into business. It grew up with me. Like every year I started finding myself drifting from the career I studied into being more obsessed about learning more on the business side and how I can grow my business. I started a couple of businesses that flopped on Instagram. I think Corona was the time where online businesses started becoming something that people really focused on because we had all the time, and I hope that the quarantine doesn't repeat. But it helped me focus more on the online side of my business, and I found myself growing Anime Hub, one of the brands I established for the past 4 years or 5 years, yeah. And yeah, this is how at one point I shifted totally into it and doing my work currently with Fame Entertainment.
I think it's admirable. Always striving to do something, always trying to improve yourself, always trying to learn new stuff. You studied actually biomedical engineering, right?
True.
Yet somewhere along the way you realized your future looked completely different. Can you tell us about your journey in that regard?
True. So I studied here in the applied education, and biomedical for a while was something I enjoyed until you face some difficulties in the field. Like my degree was a diploma degree, and everyone around me in that field was either like a bachelor or like a higher degree engineer, let's say. So improving in that field wasn't something easy to like you'd have to go to a university to earn the degree and grow, and skills alone wouldn't allow the manager just to promote you. And I've always wanted to improve myself in the space I work in, so I got a lot of limitations, to be honest. So at one point I was like, okay, maybe this is not the thing that I want to keep on going with, or like this is not the thing I want to keep on doing. So at one point I took a brave step into just literally resigning without knowing what I'm actually doing in the next step. I resigned, tried opening a company, it flopped again, and this is what like got me into where I am right now, to be honest, and I'm thankful for it.
And we're also thankful that you finally found your place and your position. Do you have, an idea about the misconceptions that people have about taking such leaps, about the wild ideas?
Well, see, to be honest, when you see people taking these steps, you think that they're totally confident, they're brave, or like they're braver than you. The truth is, it's not. It's always about taking these steps with being a normal human who has all these fears, but maybe have some faith and believing in yourself that you can do something. Because I think the thing that engineering have taught me is to always find solutions, like trace the problem and find the solution. So in business, that's what I've faced most of the time, because like you'd have a problem in sales and then you'd find a way to improve it. You'd find a problem in marketing and then you'll find a way to get on a trend or find a better product or a better marketing strategy, and that's it. So I think the misconception is people think we take these steps because we're braver. We're not. We're totally doing it with total fear. Like the past week, I'm gonna share this with you guys. I was swimming, and then in the swimming pool there was a high jump, and then I was literally telling myself like, I want to go and jump from the highest one just to see like if I'm going to do it or not. And with every step, I was like, okay, it's becoming higher, and would I do it or not? And eventually, I jumped with being scared. Like I was scared to the roof, but I still did it and ended up very well. And this is it. Like you gotta challenge yourself. You gotta like keep creating proof to yourself that you can do things. That's the only way you can create confidence. People, when they approach confidence, they think it's the beginning of the road. It's actually waiting for you in the end after multiple failures.
I think that's an amazing story and well said on your part, especially with like you said, you were afraid. You weren't. There was fear, but you actually have the courage to do anything you want to do. But you just have to face the fear itself and not be maybe intimidated by anything on the other side. You also started a business from scratch.
Yes.
I'm sure there were a time that you were uncertain about the future and whether the risk is there or not. Was there a moment like you questioned whether to continue or not?
Well, there definitely was a moment where I was like questioning everything I'm doing, especially that like when failure hits you hard and you reach rock bottom, sometimes it's really hard to keep on going. But that's what like that was the time where I started hearing that voice in my head, like be the hero. And I think it's something wired in my brain since I was a kid, because watching Space Tune as I grow up, it was about that song which tells you that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and I keep on remembering it all the time, and maybe that's what kept me optimistic. So that's why nowadays I'm trying to start and share my journey unfiltered with all the ups and downs. So maybe that when people see that, they believe that there are things that are able, like anyone is able to do anything. Because until this day, I haven't achieved what I want, but I'm still like walking towards it, even with slow steps. So yeah, I want to share the journey and hopefully reach the end goal one day.
That's amazing. I also grew up on watching these old cartoons, and I like your logo, Be the Hero.
Thank you.
Since no one is going to be the hero except you for yourself, I would say that.
Indeed.
But even if there's something we fear, we always have to take the courage to do it.
Yes.
Either we like it or not.
True. See, a small mind shift can go a long way. I started facing these things with a simple trick. Instead of being or saying that I'm scared, I started telling myself to be excited about doing new things. And I think that have got me into trying a lot of things back then. Like started trying to play guitar, draw, try to sing, do many things. Like I've placed myself in so many uncomfortable situations, to be honest. And did it all work? No. Was I embarrassed? Yes. But eventually, if it's either you do that or you'll just stay where you are.
I mean, it's better to go into a trial and error kind of phase and see, saying, you know, I've chased success even if I got failure, instead of
Sure.
just growing up and saying, oh, I wish I did this and that. So at least you have that kind of
Yes.
knowledge. And we do hope that you find your success, because you said you're still working for it. So inshallah, you know, as long as you're making those steps, honestly, it's gonna come, you know, whether sooner or later.
Hopefully, yeah.
Now, I want to ask you about this colorful journey that you have. What kind of lessons, you know, would you say you took the most?
Let's say one of the lessons is that failure isn't something that should set you back. It should always accelerate you to do more and find a way to do the right thing that will work for you. So just like hitting the gym, you know, if you pick up a weight and try to hit 10 reps and instead you hit 8, you don't just leave the gym and never come back again. You keep on coming back until you hit that weight and start progressing into better weights or like heavier weights. And that's how maybe you should treat failure, you know. Whenever you fail, stand back again, see what you've done wrong, and try again. Like, what's wrong with trying one more time? You know, you gotta keep on going until you hit these goals, and just try to gamify your life a bit. Like, put some challenges here and there, try setting new goals from time to time. That's what maybe will keep the motive in you, and what will set your heart ablaze, let's say.
Atta, a lot of people think, or you always say that not to wait until you're ready. But a lot of people are always waiting for a permission to start, which may never come. Why do you think is that?
This is me. I believe that people who never start are just comfortable with being unjudged. Because most of the time we fear what will people say about us. Most of the time we fear the judgment of others. Like, if I fail, most of the people around me are going to judge me. And I believe that it's way more comfortable to stay unjudged and just say that you're not ready as an excuse, instead of actually trying to do something. So if you're out there trying to do something new, you're definitely going to be judged. But it's better to be judged and you've at least tried than not trying at all. And as you said, when you grow up, you regret that. I always think about myself in the future, and I don't want to be looking back at my life saying, I wish I've tried this in a younger age, or I wish I've done that instead of this. No, I'd like to say, like, yeah, I tried it, I failed, so what? I'll try something else. And that's how I keep on going, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the so what mentality is the best mentality to take it, right? Because then, you know, failures are not going to hurt as much as people would take them. Sometimes you see people try once, and once they fail, they stop trying. Because I remember what scientist was it? I think maybe Graham Bell or Thomas Edison, someone along those lines, where he said it took me 99 tries to find the one that was successful. So if a lot of people take that kind of mentality, you're never going to look at failure as an endpoint. You're going to look at just, you know, it's this topping point, the stepping stone behind your next phase.
Yes.
All of that rant aside, I do want to say to the audience, we are going to take a very quick break. We'll come right back after this one. And of course, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I do want to ask you about something, Atta. You know, for a lot of people, they, like we discussed before the break, you know, sometimes they see failure and then they stop, they go to their comfort zone. And sometimes they hate their comfort zone, but because they tasted failure just once, they're like, not again. But when it comes to trying again, how do you find the motivation to keep trying, to keep, you know, hammering those nails?
Where they are, they're uncomfortable, or they're gonna face failure, which is also uncomfortable. So to me, it's choosing which uncomfortable life you want. Do you want to stay the same and stay uncomfortable, wishing that you're better, wishing that you're lifting heavier, wishing that you're in a better place? Or do you want to be the person who's at least trying to be better, to lift heavier, to build something meaningful, and still be in an uncomfortable somehow space? the only difference I see between these two spaces and is that we adapt as humans. So in the place where you're trying, you start adapting. So you realize it's not as uncomfortable as you thought it would be, and slowly it will wear off, and you start getting more excited, and then that engine, once it's like rolling, you start accelerating towards your goal in a better way. So it's like building a new habit. It's like you gotta just keep on trying, even if it's a 1%. It's better than doing nothing towards the things you want to do.
I think that was well said by you and also Abdullah. I think the pain of regret, or to regret something, is a lot more severe than failing at something. You would actually feel like you did your part, you did what you have to do, and either you failed or succeeded. That would be it. But if someone says that you, Atta, were changed by being an entrepreneur, or changed your career also, what would you say to them?
My career took a shift, a wild shift, without me even realizing it. One time I got a call from a friend, and he's like, "We're looking for an employee." And at that time, I wasn't employed. I was just doing some freelancing stuff here and there. And he offered a position for managing at Fame Entertainment, and like that was something I've never worked in, the management department. And as always, I was like, okay, let me try, and I'll see if it's suitable for me or not. I tried it, and I look 2 years back, it's just like that phone call happened yesterday. Uh, if you come to me 5 years ago, was I going to accept that call, or to become a manager in this space? Definitely not. But 2 years before, like 2 years back, when that call happened, I was a different person because of the things that I've went through with my business, with the career shift and all of that. And that's what built me into the person I am now. And that's what will also be like, that's the person that I'm going to always be, trying to build someone better than I was yesterday.
Amazing.
It is, and that's always a great motto to work on, right? Always, pursue the better person yesterday.
Yeah.
But speaking about the person you are today, you live by the motto of be the hero, which we can see on your shirt as well. Hopefully the audience can see it in the camera.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that phrase and what it means to you?
Be the hero was, as I said, a voice that once came to my head and it never left. It's, I think, when I've started facing some hard times and I realized there's no one that I can, like, there's no one that can save me but myself. So it's mostly about taking the responsibility of your life, of everything going around you, because at some points of your life, you're definitely gonna face things alone. And entrepreneurship is a lonely road. It's not something filled with people around you. Sometimes you're gonna face things by yourself, and you gotta be accountable for it totally. People are always gonna be at the end of the road if you failed or if you won, to either cheer for you or laugh at you. So that's why be the hero became my motive, is to build that person who can be there for myself, be the person who can take responsibility to every step I take. Most of the time, I take some steps knowing that failure is a huge option and there's a lower possibility of success. But yet, I talk to myself like, am I ready to face the consequences and take responsibility for it, even if I fail or not? If the answer is yes, I most likely would take that step and move forward. If not, sometimes also a hero would take some steps back to get better in some parts of his life and keep on going.
I think that's amazing. Even the motto that you use, be the hero, I think it applies to you because, like you said, you're not waiting for anybody to come and save you. You will depend on yourself and you will try your best to succeed. I think that's what makes a hero a hero. That people actually depends on you, but you won't maybe depend on anybody except yourself and try to build yourself better. But Atta, let's say someone only knew your business or the business that you built, only knew you through that. What would surprise them about the person behind it?
Maybe some people would be surprised that I don't watch anime that much. Like, and it's not because I don't like it, it's the lack of time sometimes. There's a lot of series that I want to watch and I don't keep up to. Another side is what we've spoken about, that people may think just because I established a business and I'm into this world that I do things with more confidence. I don't. I'm filled with fear. Even before starting this interview, my body was shaking, but that's okay. That's how you ease up some like things. You just go with it, do it, try to be excited as much as you can, and things would work eventually, one way or another.
It is. I think people underestimate how much of a great presence, putting on a face can have on other people, even if you feel so nervous. I mean, honestly, I personally couldn't tell. The face that you put to people, as long as it shows confidence, shows, calmness, shows everything, whatever volcano you're feeling inside, as long as people are happy. Now, also, when it comes to the creative space that you find yourself in, especially when it comes to being in a field that requires, being unique, offering something new, do you think that creativity is something, a lot of people have? I don't want to say talent, but it's something they're born with, a vision, a style, or is it something, they can practice, they can learn, they can adapt, they can improve?
Well, to me, creativity is something that you can definitely build. I've read a book once called Steal Like an Artist, and it teaches you this small trick that anyone can apply, where if it tells you that if you steal from one person in the perspective, like in the creative perspective, you're copying them. But if you gather as much information from the people around you and you put a piece from each and every one and you make it your own, then it's called original. So creativity is definitely a skill that you can improve. You gotta open your eyes to the world and space around you and in the field that you're in. You gotta see what others are doing. You gotta pick the nice things from them and rebuild it your own way. And that's, I believe, how creativity is built. Also, another thing is that creativity is seeing an opportunity or seeing a possibility of something happening and trying to build it. That's why also, like, for example, in the new agency I'm building is focused on licensing products for brands in the local region. A part of it is creating something out of nothing, out of an existing IP and out of a brand. So the product that you're creating is a collaboration between two things. And that's what creativity to me is, that you can come up with an idea that you believe in and you do it your own way and you impress others with it.
I think it's amazing what you're doing with your business, and I wish you all the success in life.
Thanks.
But Atta, being a leader is all about taking the hard choices or hard options that no one is willing to take. What was the part of this carrying this responsibility is the most difficult part of it?
Well, when it comes to leadership, I believe taking accountability of your mistakes is the hardest part of it, because like everyone would look at your decision and you're in a space where you're going to take a decision that is not only going to affect you but also affect others. So you gotta believe in the decision that you're making and take full accountability for it, no matter what are the results. And this is how you become a better leader, because sometimes you're going to take decisions that are going to affect and not in the willed way, but will you be able to take another decision after it to fix what have been damaged and do something new, or try to fix it, or you're gonna just try to put blame on others? So that's, I believe, what differentiates a good leader from a bad one.
Okay, Atta, if a person became the hero of the story, what do you think it would change, not only for the person themselves, but for the society as a whole?
I believe it's the influence that is more important than anything else. As a hero, you got to think of the values that you're going to share, the let's say, you got to think of the influence that you want to leave behind you, the legacy that you want to leave behind you, and it better be something good, not only for yourself but for the people around you. Because I believe if everyone started becoming the hero of their own story, the world will be a better place, where everyone is doing better in his field, everyone is successful, and with that, people will be more supportive to each other. Because when you're doing already good in your space, the influence will flow in the space that you're working in.
So it's a benefit for everyone who is involved.
Yes,
And
indeed.
it was an amazing interview with you, Atta, and
Likewise.
I wish for you all the success in life, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, guys.
Well, with that, dear viewers, stay tuned after this break. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Atta Malak, an entrepreneur, where we talked to him today and interviewed him, and his different philosophy, let's say, about business and how to initiate your own business and how to be an entrepreneur yourself. And he has an interesting motto, which is be your own hero. What do you think of that, Abdullah?
It is. I found the motto to be very inspirational. It sounds so simple, and yet I don't think I've heard it said, in kind of fashion brands before, right? And it has also a great message. It tailors, no pun intended, towards the people's, ideals and how they perceive themselves in their own stories. So I do hope that the audience enjoyed this conversation. But Abdullah, unfortunately, that was all the time we've had here from the Untold.
See you guys in the next episode.